What's up, family? We back in studio. This is a Slip Encounter podcast. We're at the beautiful Kenichi Bears Studios. We got a great episode for y'all today. We got a very special guest for y'all today with a huge announcement in his career, and we can't wait to get to it. So stay tuned, stay locked in. I'm your host, BINK, your host, GOLDENBOY. What's up, man?
Yeah, that one was locked in. I like that one.
Man, go ahead, bro. Hey, but man, we have a hell of an episode. But first, I want to give a shout out to some sponsors. We got El Paso Route 1, our man Roy.
Big Roy.
Just did a food drop for us today. We got shout out to Side Nation Sports, man. One of his fighters in the building today. We got
Jay Fly.
Shout out to Fly. My man Jeffrey Yu. I'm wearing his merchandise right now. Hell of a fighter out of the area, man. Great
Lisa
fighter.
Lopez. Appreciate the shirt swap.
You wearing it today?
Yeah.
Michelle Lopez.
Had to, man.
Indeed.
Now you got your BINK all the way in Colorado,
Yes, sir.
man. We did a shirt
Yes,
swap,
sir.
straight Jersey style, man.
Indeed, man.
That was crazy.
Great show. A lot of sponsors. Thank you guys for showing love. Thank you guys for tapping into the show and all the day ones that's still tapped in. We definitely appreciate you guys. But man, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, you better big 30.
Oh, yes, sir. Number 30. Thank you. We're gonna have a great show today. I'm locked in. My energy's high. I got a lot of energy, and I'm feeling this. I am feeling this episode today.
Yeah, man.
I am feeling this episode.
I'm warm. I'm just waiting for you to kick it.
I'm gonna kick it to. Let me start it off.
Yeah, start it off, man.
Let's talk about Rolly Romero's performance last weekend. I've been sitting on this all week. And I don't know if y'all saw me on Instagram. As soon as the decision was read, I went on a tear.
Me and you both.
I went on a tear, man. I was tight. I was so mad that I almost changed my name from BINK Boxing to BINK UFC. I was through with boxing after that night.
Talk him off the cliff.
I was through with boxing after last Saturday. You gotta be kidding me. One of the most egregious robberies I've seen in the past 10 years. That was terrible, bro. That was terrible. Why? Now we gotta ask ourselves why. How did this happen? And how do we fix this and stop this from happening? Because the fighters, man. The fighters. Uncle Barroso. I keep calling him Unc, and it's funny, but Unc really put it down.
Yeah.
And look what you do to that man's career, man. Even if him and Rolly did rematch, I don't think he performs that way again. I think Rolly stops him. I don't think he goes in and has that performance again. So to rob that man on his night, that was his night. He performed that night. That was his night to walk away with that strap when they took it from him.
After everything he went through.
Yeah.
Remember his previous fight when he came over, his wife had passed.
He's been stopped twice. Cool. All right. But he gets in there with Rolly and he's performing. He knocks Rolly down. Rolly down. Clean knockdown. Right? Performing. He was up on every scorecard. And then we allow this to happen. So how do we fix this? I'm upset, but I'm going to kick it to you, bro. Go ahead.
Where you want me to start at? Rolly's performance, or we just going to start with the beginning of the fight? Okay, all right.
Go ahead, bro. Wherever you at with it, bro.
Firstly, Rolly looked horrible.
Talk on it.
Bullet could lie to him as much as he want to lie to him.
Talk about that.
But the boy looked horrible. He probably going to be the weakest champ at 140. Probably a lot of people feel like he's the weakest champ, period. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. And to me, he looked gun shy.
Yup.
I don't know what it was, but from when you watch him when he was first coming up, you think he was like 16 wins, 15 by knockout or something like that as he was coming up the ladder. But Rolly has been involved in these decisions consistently now.
Mm-hmm.
He was always like bringing it to you, staying there strong or whatever. But anybody remember a name? Jackson, Moreno, Phoenix. Moreno. Remember that fight? Remember not too long ago when COVID first started, they had their first fight card?
Yep.
Who was it was for the WBA interim. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix boxed him the same way I thought he was going. Like, I always said, man, box him this way. Just wait him out. The first 3-4 rounds, you hear Rolly with his as he's throwing his punches. The first 3-4 rounds, Jackson borrowed his time, and then started to beat from round 4 to round 12, beat the mess out of Rolly.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave the fight to Rolly.
Yeah.
And when that fight happened, everybody looked at that But it's been so long now, kind of got brushed under the table. But now let's bring that back up. Let's see how this parallels. It was in Vegas, just like this recent one. Mm-hmm. It was for a belt, just like this recent one. Mm-hmm. It's from the same promotion, just like this recent one. Now, people sometimes one of the guys say, "Oh, what's so Floyd and Leonard going to try to get the judges, or they're not in charge of the judges." You're all right, they're not in charge of the judges, but guess what? When you are the promoter, I done grow around this boy all my life. You could pick who you like. Okay, I know this referee, I know this announcer, I know this whatever. Like Floyd, his whole career.
Keep coming with that shit. Keep coming with that shit.
Floyd, his whole career. Who did he pick to be his referee once he started to become Money Mayweather? Consistently.
Talk to him. So,
bro. A lot of people feel like Rolly got a gift. Not just then, but even with the Tank fight, talked himself into that, knowing that he didn't earn it. And now he has his world title fight. And he's the only guy on that staple right now, on that level for Floyd. And he gets in there with a guy on 3-day notice and ran from this guy all night. And then you get caught in the second. Now, Tony Weeks' whole reaction, that whole night, if you watch Tony Weeks, when Rosso stepped and threw that left hand, he fights like Ricardo Mayorga, but more sharper.
Yeah.
Man, he threw the left hand. You see Rolly's buzzed. And when Rolly goes straight back and falls, of course, southpaw right hand, their feet are like this.
Yeah.
Tony Weeks, I don't know who he looked to. I don't know what he was looking at. But he looks somewhere. Because you know, once your back hits the canvas, the count picks up.
Yeah.
The referee goes, corner, you look, and you pick up the time. I don't know where Tony Weeks looked, but he looked somewhere. And after he looked somewhere, he then goes 4, 5. Oh, you wanted to call it slipping. You wanted to call it clipping. You wasn't going to call it a knockdown at first. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I'm just saying. That's how it looked.
It did because he hesitated. The hesitation was kind of like threw me off. Like, why are you so shocked? Do your job. Call the count.
There was the feet wasn't even, no clipping whatsoever. Feet was just normal, southpaw right hand, side by side.
Clean. That was a clean shot. Shocked the shit out of me. I didn't expect that.
And I mean, I don't know why. It was typical mistake. Rolly goes straight back every time he goes away. He goes straight back. Left hand right there down the pipe.
That is true. And to be honest, I don't know why I was surprised because we just saw him get clipped in sparring the same way.
Exact same way.
The same shot Tank hit him with, knocked him out. He got clipped with that same shot in sparring. They come in here and get clipped with the same shot against Unk. I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why. Maybe I'm surprised. I thought, okay, it's been a while since Tank. It's a toss-up. Short notice. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Older guy. Rolly got youth. Rolly got power on his side. Maybe Rolly can more athletic, more speed, can get there before Unk. Bullshitting me. Unk got off on him early. And to your point, Rolly was so gun-shy. Did you ever hear Rolly? Yeah. Was he doing none of that shit?
He wouldn't stay in the pocket with him.
Wouldn't stay in the pocket long enough to do that. Wouldn't stay in the pocket long enough to do that. I don't even know where I'm even going with this, bro. I'm so in shock. My thing is now is I like what Teddy Atlas said. He was hot, bro. Teddy Atlas, I watched his show. Shout out to Teddy Atlas in the Fight Plan and his podcast. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check out Teddy Atlas's podcast. He was upset. He said we got to start holding the referees and the judges accountable for these decisions. And how do we do it? He said there's nobody. And to your point, like you said about the promotional companies, they can pick the judges, they pick the referees they want, they can pick this, they can pick that. So they can kind of pick in their favor. It's like having home field advantage in basketball or football, right?
Correct.
So who's holding these promotional companies accountable? There's no umbrella, almost like a union.
No.
To hold them accountable. NFL has a players union, right?
Correct.
Right. the NBA has something similar.
There's no Teamsters in boxing.
And exactly. There needs to be a fighters union or something where we can go back and look at shit like this and say, no, this needs to be overturned. This is wrong. You're being held accountable for this. You know what I'm saying? You're being fined this amount for this and or fired for this for repeat offenders, and start carrying it like that because it's ruining the sport of boxing. I go toe to toe with so many MMA fans and you know, UFC fans, boxing is trash, boxing's rigged, boxing's this, and here I am on the front lines defending all of this shit. No, boxing's beautiful. Boxing is one of the most legendary sports in this country. At one point, boxing was the #1 sport in the world. I'm going to toe to toe. Like, no, boxing is exactly what I say it is. So when shit like this happens, and I'm on the front lines, sticking my neck out there, now I look dumb. Because now what leg do I have to stand on to defend shit like this? I have none. So we got to find somebody to start holding this accountable and fixing stuff like this. I'm tired of seeing it. It happened to our man Mike Fox.
Man, I'm just being honest with you. It ain't gonna change. It's been like that forever. And this is the thing about it. You gotta understand. I never forget I told hard work. One time I said, man, that it don't make sense. If, you know, they could protest. He said, yeah, you could protest or you could go to commission or whatever. But they ain't gonna change that. I said, why not? He said, man, if they allowed that, they gonna have to open up the books on everything. They do that, like, all right, cool, we gonna overturn this. Guess what? They gonna have to overturn Hearns, Leonard, the second fight. They gonna have to overturn Mildred. They gonna have to overturn. You're gonna have to overturn these things. Yeah, it opens up a big slew of things. That's just how the fight game is. It's unfortunate, but let's go deeper than that. I've said this 1,000 times. Your Teddy Ellis said, you work your whole life for a shot at 36 minutes.
For a moment.
A shot for 36 minutes, you work your whole life. And a lot of times there's people who ain't never took a punch a day in their life who take it from you. Don't know what it feel like to have that cup sticking to you, to cut weight, go an 8-week camp. They don't know nothing of what that's like at all. And they take it from you. You might throw 10,000 punches to get to that moment. Like, I mean, from the start of your pro career. Guess what? When you get a decision taken from you, sometimes your pay grade get cut in half. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, you gotta throw another 10,000 punches just to get back to where you just got robbed at. And then hopefully it goes well again. Sometimes it just doesn't go that way. So with Tony Weeks and how Tony Weeks stopped that, as that fight went on, the judges had Barroso winning. In my opinion, I hate to put it that way. I remember Lamont Peterson fighting Amir Khan, and I got till this day we don't know who this guy was, who had the top hat on with the jacket, went by the judges and said, "Yeah, this right here gotta go." I don't care. Like you're not gonna convince me that how that scorecard was, it was just miraculously gonna stay that way at the end of the scorecard, when it was all over with. Because guess how it looks now? Rolly was losing and came back and won. If you just look at the box rec, if you don't look at the fight.
But to be honest, I'm being completely honest, bro. When I'm looking at the progression of the fight, Rolly did start to land some punches. Yes. He did pick up the action. Yeah. If I'm being completely honest, I think Rolly would have probably ended up stopping him later on in the fight, maybe round 9, round 10, 11, somewhere late in the fight. I think he might have stopped him. Nah. I think this is my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think he might have picked up the action enough to where he stopped because he did buzz him. He did hurt him. Not in that moment where Tony Weeks jumped in, but he did buzz him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So maybe it was something premature where, you know, that was the moment, like you said, that was the moment that he was looking for to jump in and stop the fight. As soon as I see Rolly has him hurt, I'm going to jump in and stop it. And maybe that was the wrong moment. Clearly it was the wrong moment, but maybe that's what he was looking for that moment.
The wrong moment when this guy gets hit with a shot, rolls under, gets thrown with a right hand lands, control push, throws him to the ground, gets called a knockdown.
Oh, the one they scored a knockdown. I didn't even talk about that.
Then this man gets up. You see he's fine. He's throwing, roll under, pull, roll under. And you mean to tell me none of them shots landed? 28, I think he threw 28, none landed. Mm-hmm. None of them landed. And then all of a sudden this guy counters and all of a sudden you jump in and stop it.
That's what I'm saying. The wrong moment.
That makes zero sense. So there's so many factors in this. Mm-hmm. It's too many things in this that I done seen in the fight game where this and this and this and this happens. Why? Because you want this to happen, because this and this can happen. So if you have Rolly as the champ now, you have Ryan Garcia moving up. You have so many other guys that want for Teofimo, which I know they ain't too stupid to throw him in there with. Josh Taylor, Regis Prograde, whatever. We already know he beats none.
None.
The boy ain't got no better. He just strong.
For real, got worse.
He doesn't even stay in the
To be
pocket
honest.
like that no more. You could lie, Bullock could lie to him as much as he want to lie to him. And then he said something earlier. Rolly did during the pre-fight saying that, yeah, my camp was good because I didn't have to argue with nobody. Basically, what I took from that is they let me do what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because he got the money now.
Right.
And to me, a guy who always was he's a bully boxer. He wants to push you around. He wants to throw all power shots.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he gets you under control. If you have a jab and you can get through those early rounds, you got him.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just get through to the fourth, you got him under control.
Indeed.
But as long as you command your jab and you make him look stupid, make him miss, make him look stupid, you got him. Because the type of guy he is. But that same guy who's in the pocket, when that old man, I always say this to people, the power is the last thing to go.
Yeah.
You could lose your speed, you could lose 1/10 of a second in your reflexes. But when you get hit by an old guy, you know about it. And when Barroso hit him, you could see Rolly move like, oh, I didn't expect it. Yeah, he admitted it. And honor straight to him, like, he admitted it.
I give him credit for that.
I give it to him. He admitted it.
100% props, man. He could crack. Man. I ain't want to get hit by that shit no more. Straight up said it.
Yeah. And respect to him for saying that. But he had nothing else to do. The boy Rolly don't even got a jab. He don't even have a jab. Oh my God, I sound like my father. Oh my God.
Apple don't fall far from the tree.
Oh my God, yeah, my father. Man, you could have you could slip, slide, you could do all that stuff. That's all well and fine. But man, do you have a jab?
Ain't got one. But bro, because we run out of time, let's get on to the fight coming up this weekend.
Oh, first we gotta get on Ryan.
Huh?
Real quick, I want to ask you, what do you think about him going to Derrick James?
Derrick James, I think it's good if he's gonna be coachable. You got the best coach in the world. If you're not coachable, there's nothing that's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? He has to go there and be coachable. I like Derrick James.
I like Derrick James too, but I don't like Ryan for him. He ain't putting up with that. You gonna have to spar. You gonna have to do a lot.
Be coachable. Do what your coach tells you to do.
Man, he ain't got. You got to get this boy a jab. You got to break him down to the smallest form again, starting from the beginning. And I'm gonna be real honest with you. You can change. I can't stand it when these fighters, they lose a fight. See, the trainer, the best guy in the world, it's like your parent. Best person in the world when you get what you want. But as soon as you lose, oh, they the worst bastard to ever walk on two legs. And all of a sudden, and I've noticed that with fighters throughout boxing, and Ryan ain't no different. He ain't no different. As soon as the boy don't do this, don't do that, all of a sudden he wanna go out the back door. So now you wanna sit there and now you got Derrick James. Which in my opinion, I don't think is a good fit, but we'll see how it goes. I don't got it going well. Why? Because this is his mental makeup. It just ain't happening for me.
I guess we're gonna see.
Don't tickle my fancy, okay?
I hear what you're saying. Like I said, in my opinion, I like Derrick James as a trainer. I like what he's done with Errol. I like what he's done with Jamel. You know, Frank Martin. All three of those guys. What's their strong suit? Fundamentally sound.
Fundamentally sound.
Fundamentally sound. What does Ryan lack? Fundamentals.
But is he gonna change his speed?
That's up to Ryan.
Gotta control his speed.
That's up to Ryan being coachable. If he goes in there and says, you know what, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of people saying I got no jab. I'm tired of people saying all I got is a left hook. I'm tired. I want to link up with a trainer.
Hurt.
I want to. It does. But hopefully he's taking that as a man and saying constructive criticism. Let me link up with a trainer that's gonna fix that about me. I think Derrick James is the guy to do it. Exactly. I think Derrick James is the guy to do it. So I like that matchup. If Ryan can go in there and be coachable. But let's get on to the fight this weekend, guys. Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, the Matrix.
Oh
man.
my God.
Go ahead, bro. We got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
I actually want to bounce this off of you. Let's see what you think.
Mm-hmm.
If Loma don't get old, it could be a difficult night.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a difficult night because even though Devin's bigger than him, he's not as big as Luke Campbell, as so many other guys he's been in, Linares, so many guys he's been in there with.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we all know Devin got that jab. Beautiful jab, beautiful. I think because you control distance, but he doesn't change the timing on the jab. So what if Loma don't get old and he get the timing and start catching it, grabbing his
Controls the
glove.
Controls Devin's
grabs
jab.
his glove, pivoting around him, doing that stuff that Loma does. Grabbing his glove, pivoting on the side of him, start hitting him here and there. I feel like Devin's feet should get him out of trouble soon as Devin has good vision. So soon as he feels that glove get grabbed, then all of a sudden, once Loma steps to make the pivot here, the next thing you know, you'll already see Devin pop, boom, and he's gone, bicycling away. That's gonna be that's what I want to see. Who controls the jab and distance first? Who reacts quicker? That's what I want to see.
That's what I was just talking to my guy Ant from the Put Away Podcast. Shout out to Ant and the Put Away Podcast. Man. We was talking about this fight and we kind of broke it down. And my guy Sugar Wayne, we talked about that this morning on the way here. Talked about that fight. We kind of broke it down a little bit. And I posted on my story when I saw the face off. I'm like, yo, Devin's really not that much bigger than Lomachenko. And I'm looking at the length of their arms. I'm like, he reach ain't that much more than Lomachenko. If Lomachenko can get in there and control his jab, Devin has a beautiful jab, like you said, it's the same.
Yeah, but it's the same speed.
Right. If Lomachenko can control that, and like you said, pivot and start creating those angles and makes it frustrating for Devin. Like you said, it could be a long night. So I'm kind of taking this. I was not heavy Devin, but I was leaning towards Devin. Yeah. I'm leaning towards Lomachenko now. I'm leaning towards his experience, the way he creates angles, the way he sets traps. Lomachenko's phenomenal at feinting and baiting you into traps. Yeah. But Devin's discipline. Discipline. I had just said I compared Errol Spence to Tim Duncan, fundamental. I compared Devin Haney to almost like a Steve Nash. A little flashy, but he's gonna get you to rock. Yeah. He doesn't get out of his comfort zone. Steve Nash will score if you need him to, but he getting the assist. He's getting you the rock. He getting the rock to Amari Stoudemire down in the pocket, down in the paint. You know what I'm saying? He's fundamental at the same time. So when I'm looking at this fight, who has more variables? Who has the plan A? Oh shit, now I got a plan B. Oh shit, plan C, plan D, plan E. Who is that fighter in this matchup? I'm rocking with Lomachenko.
All right, so when it gets to the decision, because this is going to decision.
It's going to decision. And
do you see do you see a chance for robbery? Because I'm sorry, I think Devin got to beat the dog slop out of him.
He has to, because Devin hasn't gotten that respect yet.
He has to. Like when he said I have to retire, he has to beat the dog mess out of him. Right. Because if he does, this is the last fight on his contract with Top Rank, I believe, for Devin. I believe it go back to the amateur. You had certain guys like Nuke, Loma. You had certain guys in the amateur. I remember guys like, man, you had to knock them out. If you didn't, they could be stumbling, drooling. But if they can make it to the center of the ring for that ref to grab his wrist, his hand going up.
Right, for sure.
I'm sorry. I could see if Devin coast, he take it from him.
He go to the cards. You know how much Top Rank love Loma.
The De La Hoya, Trinidad all over.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see that.
100% I can see that. Devin got to go in there and perform. He can't just stick behind the jab. He going to have to land some bricks. He going to have to land bricks. He going to have to put Loma in a position where he's either hurt or, he can really push Loma back and take away Loma's strengths and look fantastic doing it. He has to do that. He can't, like you said, he cannot afford to go in here and coast behind his jab like he did with Kambosos.
And he got a muscle.
He has to use his size and muscle him, make it uncomfortable. Like Jermaine, I said this too with Ant. Like Jermaine, I like how Jermaine Ortiz fought Loma. Yeah. He used his size, he pushed him around, and he punched with Loma. When Loma thought he was getting off, Jermaine was right in there in between those exchanges, winning most of those exchanges, to be honest. Winning a lot of those exchanges. If Devin is willing to fight like that, which I don't think he is, we'll just have to see, man. We'll have to see.
It's going to be interesting.
It's a great matchup because there's so many variables. There's so many ifs, and if he does this, well, if he does this, but what if he does this? So many variables. That's why I love boxing, because you can kind of predict it, but at the same time, you don't really know until that bell rings. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just ready for tomorrow to see how this gonna go, because it's gonna be interesting to see how me and you gonna get on. Oh, real quick, because I already know BINK gonna re-mention it later on. We're about to start doing shows nightly. Yeah. And then have the live shows today on Fridays. So we will be posting on our pages that we will be shooting shows from Monday through Thursday, then the live show Friday. Yeah, so everybody be prepared for that, because we will be dropping the info soon.
Indeed.
But I think it's time for our guest.
Yeah, let's go. Let's cut to a quick commercial break, right? And we're gonna bring in our special guest.
I was born for this. Always know I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
Welcome back. Those were the Hibernation 5 headphones by Kenichi Bed. As you know, we're in the Kenichi Bed studios. If you guys have not bought yourself a pair of the Hibernation 5s, make sure you guys go grab a pair. They're phenomenal headphones, doubling as gaming headphones. Gotta go cop those. Gotta go get them. But hey, guys, our guest is ready. Our special guest, talented up-and-coming fighter. Representing Hagerstown, Martinsburg, West Virginia. To be honest, slept on, but not for long. He's coming. Let's bring him in. We got Chris, the
Blueprint. What's up, boy? My guy. Man, I'm glad we got this guy back in, man. I'm glad we got this guy back in.
Indeed, man. It's been overdue. Welcome back to the studio, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
For sure, man. So, what's been new, man? What's up with you?
Just getting back active, you know. We fight again June 24th, I believe, in Baltimore. Training coaches, a change in coaches, and you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, staying out the way. Same old. You know, I'm always in the gym.
Yeah, for sure. I know there's some things that you wanted to discuss, press release, and you know, just to clear the air so people know exactly what's going on with the Blueprint and where you at right now.
Yeah, I'm training with Simon Brown Boxing. Still in Hagerstown, but yeah, Simon Brown Boxing.
Okay. Any noticeable differences already?
I mean, yeah, he was a world champion, so you know, he definitely knows, you know, what he's doing and everything like that. It's definitely a little bit more structured. You know, he knows, like, how can I put it? He knows when he wants me to, you know, do a little bit more, pull back, you know. So just it feels like an actual camp, you know, compared to a couple of like the last times and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with you, man, you know, we spoken off air, and it's been a frustrating time for you. To be honest, it's been frustrating. It's been frustrating for us watching this for you. Yeah, watching you go through this, but you still level headed. You, like you said, you stay in the gym. You just tell the people how you were able to stay so grounded and then stay consistent in your work no matter what's going on.
So disciplined.
Honestly, like, first thing is just God, you know. I don't really let outside sources and stuff like that, you know, push me in bad positions and predicaments and stuff like that. I just, you know, first off, you know, put all my trust in God. And then honestly, man, I got, you know, good people around me, you know, whether it's my family, good friends, and you know, now being with you know, Side Nation Sports. You know, I got Bill around me, you know, Corey around me a little bit more. So I got a good team around me. So easy.
And then the team's growing, man.
Very.
The team is growing. You know, the backing around you is growing. Even though you haven't been as active as you would like, the team is growing. So, like, again, like, what does that mean? How is that having an effect on your career?
I mean, everything happens for a reason, you know. I feel like just in life, like, when you go through things in like a dark time, something good is gonna come at the end of it. So, you know, I feel like, you know, I went through a little bit of those dark times, you know, had a little bit of a layoff. So, like, now the good things are gonna happen. But I still stay level-headed. I don't let, like, bad times go to my head, get me down. And I don't let, you know, good things, you know, boost me too much up, you know. I just try to stay humble, you know, stay in the gym and, you know, just trust in God. Like I said, you know, he has a plan. You know, no man, no woman can, you know, stop what God got plans. So, you know, I just stay the course.
Yeah, for sure. And even though you haven't been active, like, in the ring professional, you've been getting some great sparring rounds in.
Yeah.
Great sparring. Shout out to Trey Pound.
Yeah, my man Trey.
Great sparring.
Yeah. You
How was that?
Y'all should have to pay money.
Yeah, I gotta pay to see that. Man. Me and Trey always be going at it, man. That's my dog, yo. You know, always, you know, solid work with him. You know, obviously, you know, me and Wayne, we always work. You know, it's been a while. I haven't worked with Doms in a while, but you know, me and Crowder worked. Trying to think. I ain't trying to leave nobody out there. You know, we got some good amateurs in the gym also down in the area that I've been working with. You know, my boy Jay. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, and people speak highly of you. I know Trey came in here.
Yes.
He spoke highly of you.
Yes.
Everybody, you know, Coach Gusabel, that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Speak
Who?
very highly. Jeff's trainer.
Oh yeah.
Speak very highly of you, man. It's just a testament to you and the hard work that you putting in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely appreciated. You know, we got real good talent. You know, in the DMV. So.
Yeah. So you know, being underrated to no fault of yours, because you a hell of a fighter. We all know that. Everybody in this room right now know that. Really, people in the DMV know that, right? So being underrated, in your mind, what's next for you, and how do you change the narrative?
Just keep winning, man. You know, they can only, you know, deny you but so long. I just go out there and do the fighting. You know, I got a good team behind me. Like I said, I got Corey, you know, shout out to Corey, you know, Side Nation Sports. You know, I got Bill, you know. I just let them handle like the business side. Then I let them handle like, you know, the fights and stuff like that. And you can ask them. I never turn down a fight. And, you know, whatever they line up, I just, you know, just beat them people, you know. We got some good things coming up. You know, it starts with, you know, I believe it's the 24th. And then, you know, we right back at it, you know, God willing, you know, no injuries, you know, no bumps and bruises too much. You know, we right back at it. So, you know, we just gonna get active, you know, keep building this record up. And then, you know, them big time shows and stuff I'll get on eventually. Yeah,
for sure. I wanna ask you too, man, because, you know, being in camp, right? Getting ready for a fight, you know, you're cutting weight, you know, you're being disciplined, then the fight falls out. Right. And then you get ready for another fight, you in camp again. You know, so it seems like you've been in camp for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So how is that taking an effect on you mentally, physically? How are you able to stay, you know, ready? Look ready.
Well, I mean, like in the amateurs, that happens a lot. You know, you might be training hard, and then you get to the fight, fighter don't show up, wherever the case is. So it just comes with the territory. You know, it's just with experience. You know, like I said, you know, being with Simon now, you know, he lets me know when to pick it up, and then when to, you know, slow down a little bit, because, you know, you don't want to overtrain.
Right.
So, you know, whenever them fights fall out, you know, you stay in the gym, but you just won't go as hard, you know, or you might, you know, work different aspects. You know, you might just shadow box a little bit more instead of doing hard running. You know, because you could shadow box as much as you want. You know, that's not going to do nothing. You know, a little bit more stretching. You know, you just sharpen up the other tools that you're weak at. You know, so I'm just getting more and more dangerous. You know what I mean? So.
For sure, like that, bro. I'm getting more and more dangerous. What's the mentality going into your next fight?
I just want to win. You know, first off, just win, but definitely want to, you know, a spectacular performance. Definitely want that, and just to let them know that, you know, I'm back. You know, I love my boys to death. You know, I love Trey. You know, I love, you know, Too Sharp. You know, Wayne and all them. But, you know, I'm up there with them. You know what I mean? So I just want to let that be known that, you know, like I'm up there. You know, I'm that guy too. So definitely that. I want to make a statement.
For sure. Man, we excited. We got Carl Carney, your trainer. He said Team Blueprint.
Yes, sir.
Man, y'all got a connection like I've never seen. And it's crazy because when I first met him, I thought he was your brother or your dad or something.
Yo,
That's
y'all
how
gotta
much
stop that, yo.
No, I swear. You know, I swear, bro.
Yeah, gotta stop
I
that.
swear. I thought y'all was related, man, like cousins or something.
Yeah. That's my dog, man. Like, you know, like when you meet certain people, probably like when you and Junior met and stuff like that, like it just speaks for itself. Like you just know, and he a real guy, so you know, and he been there with me through some tough times that I've been through, you know, good times and stuff like that. So I got nothing bad to say about him. He a real one. Never really asked anything from me or anything like that. Just always wanted the best for me. So definitely respect, definitely loved, and you know, when I can give it back, I'm gonna give it back. You know, so yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, he definitely a good guy, and you know, we kind of got a similar, you know, workload. You know, waking up early in the morning.
Yeah, man.
It's dark when we leave.
And
and then you know it's dark when we get home.
Yeah.
But he's still finding a way. You know, with having a kid and a wife, he's still able to get to the gym and train with you and the other guys. So what does that mean to you?
It means everything, man. It's definitely like much appreciated, and like he don't got to do that, so I know it's, you know, it's genuine. You know, it's real. So, you know, everything that, you know, not even just him, but, you know, like my whole team, like I say, you know, I keep going to say, you know, like, you know, Roy, you know, Bill, you know, Corey, you know, Simon, you know, Coach Daryl, just everybody that, you know, helps me out, you know, even in this downtime, me not fighting. I honestly, I'm humble and I appreciate it, and it make me want to go, you know, much harder, you know, because I I got people, you know, investing time into me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, money too, but you know, money comes and goes. You know, you can lose some money and make it back, but you can't get time back.
Yeah.
So like if you invest in time in me, like I know it's real, I know it's genuine. So it's definitely appreciated.
For sure, man. That's real. That's about as real as it gets, man. I know outside of the ring, you know, you had some business ventures that you was doing.
Yeah.
Was that kind of occupying your time too? You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. Yeah. Real estate never stops. So you know, definitely doing some real estate. Got a couple other things that you know I'm a get going. You know, trying to get in the trucking and stuff like that also.
Okay.
So maybe something like that. And you know, just the family too, man. You know, the family. You know, spend a little bit more time with my mom, my dad. You know, spend some time, you know, with my daughter, my son. You know, just family. You know, just I don't really, you know, be liking to do too much, being out too much, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just a simple guy, you know. I'm either in the gym, you know, or, you know, with the family, whatever the case is. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got Corey in the chat, Side Nation Sports, shout out. He said
Shout out to Corey.
Chris fought 3 guys and all 3 have retired from the sport.
Hey,
Who's
yo,
gonna
he
be
funny.
the 4th?
Stop it.
Who's gonna be the 4th?
Yo, he gotta stop, yo.
Hey, Junior.
Bro, I mean,
Yo, it be seeming like that, yo. It be seeming like, I don't get it. It be seeming like that, but.
I didn't even know that they retired.
I guess they haven't fought.
They haven't
you
fought
know, I mean, they
since,
haven't fought
bro.
since.
they ain't fought since. I thought you knew that.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
all right.
that.
You know,
I haven't
all
been
right.
paying
I
attention.
was
Corey's
watching the
funny.
box recs. I already knew.
Funny. Yeah.
But this is what I was telling him. Remember, I think it was it Thump Y'all? It was one of them where I was like,
Yeah.
bro, just stay
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Because we already see what you have
Mhm.
and you're getting better. But this is going to be the real test because you're not getting what you should be getting more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, all right, soon as he feels like, all right, I'm overtraining a little bit, let me relax, that's when they're going to try to call him and say, hey, come on, man, let's do this and whatever. And he's going to think, well, you know, I'm still sharp, man, I'm going to go for it. And because he wanted the rest, now they want to try to get over on him.
Yeah.
And this is where he has to really buckle down. And every time he's fought, it's always been, and I'm saying straight what I heard, y'all know what y'all told me. He was the underdog, he was supposed to lose, and they always pick that opponent. Like, oh, yeah, you want to fight such and such on your pro debut, we could get you. So I was always taught, what people don't know, Derek, when you start turning pro, you have bums, then you have bum. No disrespect to nobody, but you have bums and you have bums. Bums is dudes that they just duck and they gonna take a knee.
That's it.
The bums ones that could stand a little bit, fight a little bit, but you supposed to be able to beat them or whatever and just keep your skills sharp. These dudes, oh no, I don't want him. I want Chris. This is verbatim what I've been told.
Right.
Multiple times. And I'm like, all right, skunks him. I'm just calling it what it is. I was ringside for every one of his fights. I'm calling it how I see it. Skunks him. It's the same thing each time. He don't say nothing. He come in. He gets ring. The other guy in the other corner is exuding all this confidence, right? Chris will be on a quiet confidence. By the time the first round is over with, because he's still on 4s. He's still on 4-rounders. By the end of the first round,
Done.
whole different demeanor change. They'll come out for the first half of the second and see that nothing's changing. He already won the rest of the fight.
Yep.
2, 3 fight. I'm like, hold up. And then you told me, it's like, yeah, the guy wanted to pick. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Why would he? That's a fight he supposed to fight Glenn like when they both 8-0 or something like that, or 12-0 or something like that, and it be on like a pro card on TV and it's here or up in Jersey. Why would you pick him now? Hey man, nah, Junior, they just picked him, man. They just picked him. I'm like,
they picked
okay.
Wrong. They picked wrong. So if you could talk about that, you know, guys pro debut and wanting to fight Chris Glenn.
Say it again.
You know, guys, it's their pro debut, right? And they saying, I want to fight Chris Glenn, right? So how are you taking that?
I mean, like I said, I just feel like it just be like a little bit of, you know, disrespect, you know what I mean? Just a little bit. Or maybe it's not disrespect, but maybe it's just like my competitive nature that kicks in, you know what I mean? Like, why you think I'm really not like that, you know what I mean? Like what makes you want to pick me? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you know, they don't be saying they want Wayne, or they don't be saying they want Too Sharp, or whatever the case is. So like, what make you think I'm just so sweet? You know what I mean? So hey, it is what it is.
Can I tell the story of the last fight real quick?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah, y'all stupid.
It's so bad, man. I'm not even gonna say the guy's name. Y'all want to know? Go look up the BOXER. Same scenario. I get there, Bink's coming this way. I'm coming this way.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Chris pissed, bro.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he was back there. I was getting my hands right, yo.
Man, Chris pissed. So what's that going on? Nah, man, tell him to stay calm. I don't want to like lose 2-3 rounds worth of energy just from being in the back. He said, man, dog, come on, man, just go back there. Let's just go back there.
Man.
Go back there. He's on the last part. I think it was his right hand, finishing his right hand getting wrapped, and he's sitting there like this.
Yo, he's ready to just go.
Looking at me, and I'm like, I ain't do shit.
Yeah, shit.
I'm looking at Chris like that. Hey, I ain't do nothing. I come in peace, like shaking his hand. He like, what's up,
Get
bro?
in that mode.
What's up,
Get in
bro?
that mode, yo.
How you doing, man? I said, man, do your thing, baby. Don't pay no mind to it. Just go ahead, shake out. Don't lose too much energy back here, man. Don't worry about that. You like, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
From the first bell.
Was on and popping, boy.
The only other fight, it's been a few fights at Rosecroft where I've seen, and Rosecroft is like our StubHub center.
Yeah.
You fight at Rosecroft, it's a good chance you might be in a war. It's just how it be at Rosecroft. And we at Rosecroft, and I'm watching this. It's only been one other fight I could say where the guy got in, where I've been there at Rosecroft, and the guy wasn't touched. Like, it was an easy night, and that was Mikey Fox pro debut. It was on that level that night, where he wasn't, Chris wasn't bothered, like wasn't touched, wasn't bothered. I was like, oh, he's seeing everything in slow motion.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, he on top of his game. They want this, just keep doing what you're doing, because right now this is the real test. Because they gonna try to see, and this time, okay, he out for this long. Because you know who else had that issue? Monster Mark Johns.
Oh, okay.
Mark Johns was putting dudes out cold. Oh my God. I mean, out before they hit the floor.
Yeah.
He went almost 2 years without a fight.
Dang.
Getting guys. I was in camp with him. Every fight almost. And when I was healthy, I would be in camp with him. And next thing you know, we'll get a date. Because I was also his cut man. And I would, spar with him a little bit. And next thing you know, yeah, man, we got to go to Jersey. Okay, cool. Tuesday, the Monday when we about to finish packing and go on Tuesday morning, we pulled out. Second time going to Jersey, pulled out. All right, Ross trying to get him opponent. Nothing happens. Next you know, Ross got an opponent. It was, I mean, this was consistent. And I'm like, oh, this is Monster all over again. He just got to stay ready. He's got to stay ready.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. And just to double back, because I remember when Dan had posted the little fight clip or whatever, and you was like, yo, Bink, what you on back there? When you was getting your hand wrapped, I was like,
stupid. Yeah.
I was like this.
Yo was into it.
Because I recognized the competitiveness in you. I heard what you were saying, but I saw the competitive nature in your eyes. And I felt that fire and that hunger in you that y'all not going to play with my name. Like,
not at all.
I'm Chris Glenn. I'm coming. So I felt the energy, bro, and I was hyped for because I knew what time you was about to be on.
Yeah,
when you got in the ring.
But you gotta look at it like this. This is okay.
That's
So
the
people
A-side.
don't understand.
Yeah.
This was all
Crazy.
happening to him as the A side. He's selling the tickets. So it's like, hold on, I'm selling the tickets. I got people coming an hour and a half up the highway during traffic to come here, and you making it like I'm the problem or I'm the guy the easy touch. Like, make this make sense. And I'm supposed to be the A side. Make this make sense.
His people's at the weigh-ins going crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much talking crazy. But, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really put too much in it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just respect the competitiveness you got.
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
I respect it.
You got to have it in this sport for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely got to have it, because especially like if you fighting like a killer, whatever the case is, they sense that if you're not confident or whatever the case is, they going to feed off of that. You know what I mean? Or he not really like that. They going to try to get you up out of there. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it is what it is,
Indeed.
That's in the past, I'm
Right.
I'm looking forward now,
You say June 24th, right?
Yeah, June 24th.
June 24th, man. Do you have an opponent yet, or that's still up in the air?
Not yet. I got to wait for Ponytail to send it and stuff like that. So, but we definitely going to get something, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a priority for sure this time.
Outside of boxing, though, man, What's been up with you, man? You been good? Everything straight?
Oh, everything's straight, man. Like I said, like I'm really not the type to really like, like really go out party a lot or anything like that. And just because I had a couple of fights fall out, I couldn't really do like a lot of traveling or anything either. So, because I was in camp, I thought I was fighting. So I just with my family, with my family, chilling with my family and stuff like that, staying out the way, studying a lot, tapes and stuff like that. So yeah.
For sure.
Oh man, hold up. Time out.
Go ahead.
It is an honor. Go, you boxed with my dad and everything. Now, man, it's an honor to have this guy come to this table. Mantequilla, Big Butter, the great Simon Brown has come to the table. It's an honor, sir.
Indeed, man. Thank you for coming to the show. For sure.
Oh my goodness, how you doing, sir? Come on up. First, I want to say, for you to be in all the wars and tough fights and fight for as long as you have, man, you look great and you speak well, you walk well.
Oh, man.
Well done.
Thank you very, very much. Because the grace of God, that's why.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right, man. Former world champion, Simon Brown.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. How's it feel to still be involved in the sport of boxing as a coach?
Well, I tell you, I always loved boxing from way back since I was 15 years old. And I got involved into boxing. I just love it, and it's still in my blood. Can't get away.
Yeah, see. Since you've gotten Chris, how's the chemistry been? And then, getting the timing. Because I know it's like, even when I do mitts with different coaches, you got to get adjusted to the timing and movement, different things that they adjust. How's it been since the beginning of the swap and, the relationship training together?
Well, the relationship is great because I've known Chris for a couple of years, and I always seen him training and, watching him. Even been to 2 of his pro fights, and so it wasn't that hard for me to get adapted to him because I know, by watching him, I know what I got to work with and see.
That's the next thing I was about to ask you. So I know with so much experience and things that you've seen, what's some of the things that I've watched him improve? One of the things coming from your day is you want to see how much he's turning into a complete pro, fight after fight after fight.
Well,
some things you want to add to him.
Well, he's doing everything that I know a fighter could do. I won't change his style or nothing. I just add on to it.
Yes.
But basically, since he's been fighting that way and he been good doing it, I want to make it even better by adding other things towards it. And that's what I've seen and I've been trying to be doing.
Yeah, for sure. With your experience in boxing, knowing the things that he's been going through the past few months, fights dropping out, what can you add to the team to make sure that we get Chris active and he stays active?
Well, the most important thing is that is personnel about handling his fights, about getting fights and stuff like that. Got to keep, keep going and keep bringing in fighters and, making sure that all the ones that they pick and supposed to be coming in the fight is all going to come through. And it's just like myself. Yes, sometimes I had some ups and downs when fights supposed to take place and it didn't take place. And, my trainers or even my managers, them that dealing with it, I always make sure that they have a second man line up to get it done. So we always on top of the game by working with it to get it going.
Yes, sir. And then, I'm from Hagerstown. I grew up in Hagerstown.
You from Hagerstown?
From Hagerstown. I didn't even know you was in Hagerstown until a couple years ago when I started the boxing podcast.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, how is it being from such a small town and working and training in such a small town? Is it hard to get sparring down there and, set things up?
Well, what I do, if I can't get the sparring, I take my guys them to different gyms.
Okay.
Whether it's DC, Baltimore, all over. Even if I got to go to New York, if my man having a fight coming up and he's not getting the work he needs, we got to go to get the work out and the sparring. Cause that's what my trainer did with me, Pepe, all my life. At the time I was all over to get sparring all over town, New York, the choke everywhere, Philly, wherever we got to go to get it done. That's where we're gonna get it done.
The great Pepe Correa.
Yeah. This guy here is boxing historian. Man.
I was just about to say that he know everything.
He can bring it up from the.
He probably watched your fights last night.
Probably.
Yeah, I did. I actually did watch some of it. Not last night. I watched you fight Mr. Maurice.
Irish Black.
And I watched the Terry Norris fight. I watched a lot of your fights from the beginning all the way to the end of your career. I will always watch a lot because one of my problems that you did really well that I still try to work on is how to adjust sliding in and controlling the guy on the inside. Right. That was one of the things I always try to study from you. You know, and then which is another thing that I like with you being with Chris is Chris already has a good outside game. Right. And he has a good boom, 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 and he's out. He's gone. But then on top of that, as you be with him, next thing you know, he feints. You know how Chris will feint you, hop, and then he slides in. You'll get your shots on, hop out. Mm-hmm. Next thing you know, now he's staying there, pulling the glove, and doing all these other things too. That'll be vicious.
Yeah. Once you fire, you get in on your fire shot. You know, I like you to step around the guy and fire another shot at him. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to step over because you got to adjust yourself to get back in there. They may not allow you back in.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So when you get inside, stay in there and get the job done. Now, if you get hit with something, you got to know to step around the side, you know, using angles in and out, you know, to stop that.
Yes, sir.
Basically, once you get in there, you in there for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Get that man out of there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's what my trainer used to tell me.
Get that, step in there and get him out of there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What, 3-time world champion?
Yeah.
3-time. Man, what are some of your most glorious memories from being in the ring?
Oh, you know something? Looking back, way back on a fight, my first championship fight when I fight Tyrone Trice. Mm-hmm. You know, it was 15 rounds.
I watched that one.
Yeah, I was just watching that joint last night, yo.
Yeah.
Those dudes, they was in that joint
bumping.
Bumping.
15 with horse heads on.
Yo.
And it's so funny. He told me in the press conference he was going to knock me out in the second round. Mm-hmm. And he put me down, but I got back up.
That was you was known for that.
6th, 7th round, I take it over.
Right.
And the 14th round,
put him out.
Right.
Put him out of there.
Got him out.
Impressive, man. Yeah. Impressive. Oh man, it's just such an honor to have you sitting across.
Oh,
you know,
thanks, man.
This is great. And then to see you linked up with my brother Chris right here, man. I can just see, I can see the sky's the limit for you guys.
I tell you, what he got, he's gonna be a great fighter. And he come to the gym every day. He don't miss no day. And he, you know, whatever you tell him, he capitalize on it. He don't. I can't do this or I can't do like a lot of fighters do. He go to work on it. You know, and he come to the gym, he won't get his running in like he's supposed to. He come back in, you know, and get his work in. He's a hard-working dude. And if you continue to work that hard, you ain't got nowhere to go but go above.
Right. Right. Indeed. You know, so looking back at your career from where you started, you said you had went through similar things as Chris with fights, fell off. For him, you know, getting more exposure, what are some key things that make sure we get Chris in the limelight and getting him more exposure?
Well, doing just like what you're doing now.
Okay.
You know, since he's in a little hole of not fighting, you know, to still get his name out there and keep drilling and keep working in the gym because he may get a call. Boxing is kind of game that you may get a call tomorrow. And if you're ready to go, you got to be ready to go. Mm-hmm. You know, don't make that call and someone call in for a fight for you and you're basically, because you're not coming to the gym or staying in the gym, so you can't take it. Or you just still taking it, you go out and you lose because you're not in shape.
Right.
So you always stays in shape. Boxing to me is not like football or basketball.
Yep.
You got 6 months off, 4 months off. Just straight through every day. You never know when you get that call. Be ready to go.
Yeah.
Now on top of that, my father always said, boxing is the hardest sport to get in shape for and the easiest to get out of shape in.
So that's why basically I stays in shape. Even when I'm on vacation, I getting up every morning, running, getting back in there before everybody go out to have fun. I got to get that running in.
Right.
Chris will tell you.
Yeah. No, I've seen you running
still
around
be out there
town.
running, yo.
And I did before I knew who you was. I've seen you running. They like, yeah, that's Simon Brown to be running around town. I said, I seen him way down there. What you mean?
Yo,
I still run.
It's crazy.
He be getting it, yo.
That's crazy because Jake LaMotta was the same way all the way up to his dying. He still shadow box, still try to walk and run and things like that.
Yeah.
So he really can't get it. Dad still, shadow box and whatever, it's like it's when it's in your system, you can't really get out of it. And I'm starting to deal with that a little bit too.
Yeah, I can't get it out of my system.
It's an addiction, healthy one though.
Right.
Right.
So I gotta ask, and I gotta ask. I'm itching to ask this. Is it true? Because I heard this from so many old timers when I was growing up in the gym.
Right.
You and Mr. Maurice were teammates for a long time, fought on the same cars together, came up together. When y'all two fought each other, is it true that, of course, y'all were already best friends,
Right.
like weddings, all of that? After the fight, the war that y'all put each other through, y'all went to the hospital and then went on y'all dates with y'all wives together. That was true?
Yeah.
I thought they were exaggerating that. Like, I thought they were exaggerating. Because, sometimes, like, oh, yeah, the story went this way, but now that part didn't happen. No, all of that really took place.
All that really took place. What I told Maurice is that once we had signed for the fight, at the time, with Don King, we had signed for the fight. I looked at him, I shake his hand. And I went away and get into that mood. And for him to act like he's somebody I don't even never know.
Yeah, I'll see you afterwards.
I'm going to get you. Then right after the fight, I still love him to death.
Right. Right.
That's all it was.
That's so important.
And me and him growed up like that for years, man.
And you guys are still locked in. You guys are still close.
Yeah.
That's so important to hear and for you to say that on air. And I hope we replay this and make clips of this because a lot of fighters nowadays, they want to fight because they're friends.
Yeah.
They're friends, so they don't want to ruin that relationship.
Yeah, we went to war, man.
Yeah.
We went to war, man.
Different breed. But, I don't mind when guys don't fight each other because, you may fight each other in the amateurs and that's normal and you spar each other. But the way I looked at it is, if you can do what Mr. Maurice and Mr. Simon did, power to you. If y'all can't, guess what? We still can spar each other. Like you and Trey. I told Trey 2 different times. Y'all both gonna come up together and y'all both gonna make money together.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I said, no, what I mean is when he got a fight coming up, he gonna call you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then no matter what, and then next thing you know, you paying him as the spawn partner. Y'all making money together.
Yeah.
Switch. Now he got a fight going. He calls you back. And this so no matter what, y'all still linked together and helping each other.
Yeah.
Right. How do you feel about that, Chris? Like, say you got a call, hypothetically, top rank call, hey, you want to fight Trey Pound.
Yeah.
Unified champion, this is in this division. You taking the fight?
Yeah, if the money's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if it's life changing type money, why not?
We both going,
I hit him up, you know what I mean? Yo, we gotta
do this, man.
We gotta do this, yo. Hey, we can even sell the fight a little bit, Sell the fight a little bit, we don't like each other. Make up some BS or whatever the case is, and then
as long as it's in shape, and I know it's in shape, let's get it on.
Right.
So
now, Coach, I want to ask you. That was because that's hard. I know me, man. I'm competitive. I don't like to lose, and I really don't want to have to fight like this. I mean, I can't fight, Junior, man. But how are you able to change your mindset so fast? Shook his hand and said, "Now it's on." How are you able to get into your mind and flip it so fast?
But one of the reasons too, me and Maurice basically was always in the gym. Cause we grew up together in the gym together, and we used to go to war every day in the gym. Well, especially when we don't have no other guys to spar with. Me and him go to war every day, 6, 8, 9, 10 rounds, whatever. And we come on and we still laugh and jokes and enjoy with each other, still talking to each other on the bag or on the speed bag, And that's all we growing up to be.
Right, right. So it wasn't new to step in and sign that contract.
Because, we both want to be good at what we do. We also want to be one of the greatest in what we do into the boxing world. And we just had that mandate to take care of business.
Right. And Don King wrote a fat check.
Oh,
that definitely being motivated.
Yeah, for sure.
But also it shows the me growing up around. I was more so in the gym at Hillcrest growing up, but I did see you, saw you around my dad, things like that. And the men back then were different. Y'all, like, it shows how y'all were secure within yourselves. And two, the type of fight that y'all fought, nobody really lost. Like, nobody's stocks dropped. Nobody looked bad. They both put in. I tell people that was one of the most underrated wars that you could ever watch. Is Maurice Blocker and Simon Brown. I mean, you could learn so much from it. You could learn so many things you could do, how to control, how to push through rounds. You could watch that fight and learn so many attributes you could put to your game. But it shows more so what you two as men were mentally out secure. Y'all were like, no, we can do this. We can do this, no problem.
No love
And two,
lost.
you already knew it was no love lost at all.
Because right after the fight, we still love one each other. You know, we don't, take it personal. It's a job we got to do, and let's get it on.
I'm pretty sure one of y'all cracked a joke and said, "Why you hit me like that in the knife?"
You're right. Maurice Becker told me that. Maurice Becker told me that.
Oh my goodness. So let me ask you, and I know this is another thing that you can put for Chris as he moves on in his career, and and it's because you've had it all. You fought at the highest level, at the top 15,
Right.
for so many years. One of my things that I loved from your career, to be honest with you, was how you came back after the Buddy McGirt loss. You fought so much better. You learned and became an even better pro after that fight.
Well, after the Buddy McGirt fight, I know the adjustment that I have to make now, and do things, a little different, because I was getting older too. So make it be better next time I go in the ring. I even train even harder for fights from there. Then I even train, so I always trying to be the best every time I go in
Yes, sir.
shape. Because once I'm in shape, I ain't worrying about nothing else.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not in shape, that's the only time I worry. So I always make sure that I go in there in shape and put everything that I can when I'm working out and get in great shape. So when I go in there, be comfortable, be good in the mind, and be ready to go. Because if you're in great shape, your mind going to be feeling good.
You was 3-time world champion. How many weight class? Was it 2 or 3?
Two.
Two.
Welterweight, then the junior middleweight.
Junior middleweight. That's what I was trying to remember. And I could see Chris with what really told me was the last fight, honestly. I mean, I knew that his first fight, he was at a different weight. Then he went lower and everything. The last fight told it for me, where I could also see him doing the same things, where he wins titles in 2 or 3 weight classes. And that could, because of, first, I'll be honest, first fight, didn't see it. Second fight, yeah, he could be a top 15 contender. The third fight, the control that he had, the way he saw things before, had dictated the pace, controlled everything he wanted. I was like, okay, that's not only a top 15 contender. If he stays on that track, he could be a champion or be a multi-division champion. And what's some of the attributes that you could be able to add to him with that? Like, okay, this is how you got to do that since you already have this.
Well, since, I've just got with Chris and, I'm taking my time to work with everything with him. He got what it takes. Don't get me wrong now. He got
Consummate
what it takes.
professional.
He worked hard. He put in the work. I only got to see him when he got somebody in front of his face, in front of him, where he could really
show out,
do his thing. And then I would know what to really tell him, what move to make, how to make it, And just like I said, I don't want to change what he got.
Right.
Just
add and tweak.
Add on to what you got.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Chris, working with Simon Brown, 3-time world champion, just hearing him sit across from you and give you these kind of praises, man, how does that feel?
Oh, it feels good, But, like Simon always says, we kind of always had, a relationship. We kind of always knew each other, So, but definitely, a world champion, saying these things about me, it's a blessing. So, I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it makes me want to, go hard, harder than, I've been going. So, yeah.
I called you a champ, too. Say, nah, I'm messing with you.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. After your first fight, he had called me and asked me how it went.
Yeah.
And he said, he was honest. I got respect. He was honest. He said, man, I don't see it yet. I said, man, just wait till Chris next fight. Because your pro debut, you were going through some things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't the optimal situation for Chris, but that second fight, like you said, that second fight?
Yeah, my first fight, I had to cut crazy amount of weight. I didn't eat for a whole 4 days.
Didn't eat.
Then ate a little bit, but didn't really eat a full
eat.
meal, and definitely dehydrated myself and stuff like that.
I figured
because
that.
I was supposed to fight at I was supposed to fight at 26 that fight. But then the dude that I was supposed to fight pulled out, and then Corey was like, "Well, the only guy we got is the dude that I fought," and he was coming up from 118, and I was like, "Well, can he come up to like 26?" And he was like, "Nah," so had to take it at 22.
Right, and that's
So
not to make no excuses, right? It's just what it
So
was.
that's because I was like, man, he looked flat. I was thinking this, man, he looked flat.
Yeah, it was a lot too, and then that was my debut, so that was my first time fighting. Smaller gloves, no headgear. You had the butterflies and all that, so it was a lot, man. But you live, you learn, and we just constantly just keep getting better.
And that made the second fight easier and the third fight easier. You ain't have to go through all that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I started calling you a consummate professional, because of how you handle things.
Yeah,
how you been handling things, how you conducted yourself in and out the square.
Yeah, the goal is always just to keep getting better. Just keep getting better, keep getting better.
That's
So
what it is. You just got to continue to work and get better and better and better.
Right.
The more you work, the better you're gonna get. So you got to put in the work, and you get the result. All the better that it's gonna be good.
Right. Now, I want to ask you this too. He's been working with Carl. Him and Carl have a really tight relationship too.
Right.
How was that trio in the gym where you guys able to feed off each other and train?
Well, one thing about Carl, he if I say something, he would listen. And me and him talk to make sure that is the right things to do. And he's been working pretty good with everything.
Right. That's very important.
I ain't gonna hold you. The first sparring session, it got me excited.
Yeah,
I was excited.
But
I was like, yeah. Well, both of them together,
Yeah.
It seemed like they really click real good. You know what I mean? So chemistry be everything too.
Right.
So and it seemed like the chemistry is good and everything like that. So, but
right now I know you spoke on your corner being during the fight, your corner being an important part of your mental and how you able to stay calm. During the fight. In sparring, how was that union between it in the corner and everything like that?
Simon says not like what needs to be said. He really ain't like too frantic, like what I mean? It's just hey, here's what you're doing good. Keep doing that, but try to do this. Try to do that. Give me the instructions how I need to get the instructions. So,
right, sound like a match made, man. So as you guys progress and grow together as coach, fighter, as a team. What's the goal for you guys long term?
Well, the goal is best with me is to continue to train him to make him be as good as he possibly can and get to that championship and win that thing and still keep on rolling. That's my goal with it.
I like how that sounds.
Sounds great. That sounds great.
What I like the most about it is that so Chris' type of fight with me and him are kind of similar, where some guys don't see certain things when they fighting. He sees things. He could sit there and still be working and let it flow and still see certain things, certain aspects. And then he just said, Simon's be real laid back. It's not too frantic. It's, hey, just adjust this. Everything else is working smooth. And then you have Coach. Also, they both click together. So that means you have 6 eyes that see things and be like, hey, so you was in it. What else did you see? Yeah, now, hey, Chris, I want you to do this, that, and the third. Because we just saw this. He said, yeah, because every time he do this, he's wanting to offend. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
Especially you got a guy that's in shape all the time that he can sit there and execute it. Because sometimes when you're tired, you're not in the top shape that you should be in for certain occasions. Let's say you're in there with a guy that you can't fully get under control. None of that stuff matters anymore because you can't even do what you want to do. You're just doing what you can.
Just trying to survive at that point.
Yeah, you doing what you can. So that's the big thing about it. That now you have those 6 eyes that see one that doesn't mind, that can still see things in the middle of everything.
Right.
And 2 more on the outside that see, yeah, you saw that? Yeah. So by the 6th round, this guy's gonna wind up doing this. Let's go ahead and tell Chris to start setting this up.
Right.
Now,
And agreeing on it too. Agreeing
and
taking away the chaos out of the corner. There's no chaos. It's just
there
work.
you go.
There's work to be done.
Just work.
Right. Coach, I want to ask you, being from Hagerstown, this is huge, man. We got Simon Brown. Why did you choose Hagerstown?
Well, I was in California. I lived in California for 5 years training fighters.
Okay.
With All-American heavyweight division with Ray Leonard and Pepe, a lot of guys. And once I left there, I decided to come back down. I was going to go back to the area I live at. I said, no, I want to go where it's more country at.
Mm-hmm.
My wife,
Why?
pick out. Really, she didn't want to pick out Hagerstown, and I said, "Let's go."
Right.
Because I ended up there.
Right, and you stayed there.
Yeah.
And this is exciting because, you know, me being from Hagerstown, there's not much
Yeah.
excitement going on there. There's
You
nobody
ready-
that, there's
you
nothing that draws people to Hagerstown, if we being honest. People say, you live in Hagerstown, where's that? Oh, that's past
Where's that?
Frederick. Past Frederick. You live out there? Nobody knows where Hagerstown is at. So, you know, with where boxing's at, hold on.
I did.
Boy, you ain't no.
Yes,
you
I
did.
did.
But yeah, you know, with where boxing's at now, you know, women's boxing's it's up there.
Yeah.
You know,
it started picking up.
it started picking up. We have big fights going on. We have more casuals gravitating to the sport, right? So with you being in Hagerstown, how do we get more people into boxing? Because I coach football there. I know a lot of kids there, and they always ask me, "Where's their boxing gym?" I want to get kids in the gym and make boxing grow more. How do I do that?
Well, I don't know if you know where the fairground at.
Yeah,
Up there. That's where I have the gym at. And,
Okay.
you know, just send them on in.
Right.
You know, because I'm there to teach them, to get them started. You know, if they really that's what they want to do.
Right.
You know, and we take it from there.
Yes, sir. I get asked a lot. You know, where's their boxing gym in
Right
Hagerstown?
on the fairground.
People don't even know there's boxing in Hagerstown, right?
Nah,
they didn't know there's a
don't.
professional fighter in Hagerstown.
Nah,
And Chris.
they didn't. But everything's starting to get better, you know.
Right.
Like I said, shout out to Corey again and Bill and you know, like my team on the outside, they're making moves, man. They're making major moves, man.
Right.
And you know, this time next year, it's gonna be different.
It's gonna be
gonna
very
be
different. Yeah, and then, you know, besides training, Chris, you're open to training the kids, you know,
Yeah, the kids
being
side.
involved with the children and you know, maybe sprouting another world champion right behind Chris, you know?
That, you know, that's always the thing that once you start getting a guy in there that is good and stuff like that, a lot of people know that, and they start coming in, and the kids start coming in, you know, and there you go, you're gonna pick up.
Right, and I can just see it, you know, first Chris gets his first world title shot.
Yeah.
He comes home with the strap.
Yeah.
There you go.
What that does, not just for you guys, but for the city, for Hagerstown.
Yeah.
What, we got a world champion over at the PAL, the fairgrounds. People go to the fairgrounds a lot. Don't
Oh,
even know there's a
yes.
boxing gym at the
yeah,
fairgrounds.
they
Don't
don't.
even know. Don't even know. Just imagine what that's gonna do and how much it grows.
It's big, it's major.
You know, it's huge, man. I ain't got nothing else. I'm just happy, man. I'm proud of y'all, man. For real.
And that's
Proud of y'all
appreciated,
boys,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But remember, he said that, you know, send the kids on in and everything. Remember, Simon said, if this is what they really want to do, do not waste this man time
Right.
because this ain't Bagman. You cannot, it's not like football where you can say and wave another kid in.
No.
If you're going to do this, it's going to feel like, oh, it's boring in the beginning because he got you throwing your jab at the mirror for about a week or two or a month or so. But guess what? It's all for a reason. Be patient and know that this is what you really want to do. Because if not, do not go in that gym and waste his time. Because you got pros who really do this for a living that he got to give his time to. And he's sparing it to give it to you.
It's just like Chris would tell you, what I do, I line them up every day.
Every day.
Come on. I jab him. I call out the shot for them.
Yeah.
And they find the shot.
Oh, perfect.
But it be the boring stuff that be the most important.
Most
stuff.
important.
People don't understand that.
Yeah, Scooter was in here, a couple months ago when he turned pro.
Yeah.
And he said, man, Bug and Barry and Jamie broke me back down. They got me throwing a jab all over again. And stuff. I'm like, what do y'all got? And then it clicked.
Got his pro
Wow.
debut. Yeah.
Because when you don't know boxing, like a lot of the kids them do, they think that, you know, they're going to throw all kind of crazy punches, but they don't know jab is a very important thing.
Yeah.
You know, because if you hurt the right hand, you could use the jab and win the full fight.
Yep.
Hop in it and let it go.
Tyrell Biggs.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
jabs.
Yeah, jab, left foot, you know, uppercut with the left hand. So you never know when you may hurt that right hand, but you got to keep popping that jab instead of just looking for one big right hand. No
Like,
good.
like Tyrell Biggs when he got his collarbone broke, and he just pop, turn it up, pop, turn over, pop,
Yeah.
turn the jab from each angle. Larry Owens' right hand was broke, and he fought Naldo Snipes.
Yeah, Ronaldo Snipes,
Yep,
yeah.
Pop, turn it every which way. And I remember Granddad Tom Browning, he always said, jab will get you where you want to go, and it'll get you out of trouble. And earlier, I know my mother gonna get on me when I get home because I sounded like my father to catch myself. He was like, and this one over here gonna sit there and just braid on it. But basically, my father used to be like, all that's nice. You pulling slip, all that stuff nice. But do you have a jab? Do you have a jab that could get you? Man, what? If you ain't got a jab, you ain't got nothing
You
coming.
ain't got nothing coming, man.
Nothing. And this is one of the big things I want to ask you. Cause you got Terry, Buddy McGirt, Mildred Taylor.
Air was crazy.
They were killers.
Crazy.
And they knew what they were. You knew what you were as a fighter. I'm an inside guy. Oh, I'm a slick guy. They knew what they were. And they knew I could get out. I want to fight that guy. I think I got to watch out for. They were honest with themselves. They were confident, but honest with themselves. Like, you know what? He got this. Terry got speed, but I think I could get past it and slide past it, and I could get this shot on him. And it wound up happening. What's some of the things that you've seen today in the fight game? Because in my opinion, guys are more flashier now, but it's not as much substance as it was back in the day with skill sets. That's one of the reasons why when I mentioned Mikey Fox, Chris Glenn, and certain other fighters from this area, I enjoy watching them because I can learn. I'm a fighter's fighter. I can enjoy and learn stuff from. What's some of the things that you've seen from the game that's missing that was there back then?
Well, I basically, these guys now don't train like them old fighters train.
Nope.
They're slacking up.
Even with all the advances and strength and conditioning and all this other stuff.
And they don't realize a lot of these new training things that I see a lot of guys doing now. We didn't do them back in the days. We run hard, go to the gym, spar, beat on the big bag, speed bag. I mean, they got all kind of new things now that they're doing that, to me, it's not, even like getting up and pushing tires. That's not boxing. Mm-hmm. I never lift weight a day in my life.
Did you ever chop wood?
Every now and then, I used to chop wood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do a lot of running.
Yeah.
A lot of come back into the gym. A lot of sparring, big bag work, mitten work. No, back then we didn't have mitten work. We got doubling bag work.
Doubling.
Mm-hmm.
Speed bag. So a lot of times guys look at me and said, you never lift weight. I ain't never touched a weight a day in my life. That's why my arms so small.
Yeah.
But I was taking care of business.
Right.
One thing I noticed, like my dad had me wearing big gloves at 4 years old. You probably remember when I was little. I'm 5 years old with 18 ounces on and throwing punches. But also my dad took those gloves off and put the heavyweight bag on with the slender bag gloves on because he wanted to make sure I was turning everything over the proper way.
Very important. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, one of the things I enjoyed doing was hitting the I didn't chop wood, but what Dad had me do was the sledgehammer to the tire. Just keep going, go here and everything.
That is good. Yeah.
And some of that old training from the 40s, 50s, that Jake LaMotta, Ray Carmen Basilio, all the way up to Foreman, Ollie Norton, all the way up to Bo and all those guys, Eddie Futch, one of the great trainers those guys did. I feel like it's certain things from back then that could be mixed in with today and some things from today that shouldn't be there that I won't need that. But those two things from today, like the recovery today is so much more better than what you guys had. And they were going 15. You was in the era where you saw the things change from 15 to 12.
And back in them days, we run in the boots. Dang, if you don't have
Dad still does that.
If you don't have a pair of tennis shoes to run, guys that don't want to run. We used to be a regular combat boot. Hit the road, man.
I don't know how I do that. No.
That's why all y'all knees messed up.
Exactly. Man, Dad be doing that. I'm like, why do you have on? He said, yeah, I always running bros. I'm like, shoot, bro, you can have that.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. I don't want that.
Oh my God.
These my running shoes. I ain't wearing no combat boots.
What you think? These are my ankle weight. I guess that was y'all version of ankle weight.
Hey, more power to him.
Yep, more power to him.
More power to him.
More power to him. God, please. But yes, I'm really enjoying this. Like, so I remember when they thought that you had been in too many wars and they tried to think you old and you wind up stopping Terry.
Right.
What was your mindset going in and knowing that they're saying these things? And the worst part is you had guys saying that were respectable reporters, but never felt an 8-week camp before saying these things. What was your mindset hearing those things and then going into that fight?
Well, I always was very confident in myself. And first of all, I always put my trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
The Lord always said, Simon, this is what you choose to do. Do the best of it. And I keep that in my mind my whole career. And every time I go to the fight, basically I'm giving my all. I'm training hard. And once I know I give it my all, I'm coming to fight, win or lose. It's gonna be a battle.
Yes, sir.
That's what was one thing about that Duke. I never went into that ring out of shape. I can't perform if I'm out of shape. But if I'm in shape, we fight. Even if you get me or you beat me, we gonna rumble. And that's what I always do.
Right. That's important. It sounds like you never, ever, ever cheated the game.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You gave the
Oh,
game.
no.
You gave the game everything, and in return, it gave you what you deserve back.
Exactly.
You know, I coach football, and I tell my kids that I say, if you come in, you give this game everything that you want. You're gonna get back what you give it. Mm-hmm.
But if you don't come to the gym once every blue moon and don't put in the work like you should, that's what you're gonna get back.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
So
let's-
go ahead.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
what was it? So going into the fight, what was it like with Terry Norris? You know, because that's when they were thinking that he had been in a lot of wars and all this other mess.
Well, everybody, as you know, didn't give me a chance.
Yeah.
But I believe in myself, and I know even my wife, she told me, she said, Simon, you got this. I said, okay, I'm going to be fine. Anytime my wife always told me, you got this, I'm going to be fine. And I went in there, and I was in tip-top shape, and just give it my all.
Shout out to the real boxers' wife. Shout out Miss Brown.
Yeah,
It's
just
hard
give it
being
my
a
all.
boxer's wife. It get hard.
I love to hear that. So you really leaned on your old lady. You really leaned on the wife.
Yeah.
Right. And her words of affirmation was what you needed. Not what you needed, but it gave you that extra confirmation
last
and that confidence to go in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gave me the confidence in myself to go there and do what I do.
Right.
And that's to perform on my best of my ability that the good Lord had gave me.
Right. Was there ever a time where she might have like questioned and said, Simon, maybe
Me, but not her.
never her.
Never her.
Man, what? So
shout out to Miss Brown, man. That's
Yes,
impressive.
Miss Brown.
Yeah.
So
Wow. I love that.
to wrap up the show, I want to ask this last question. You wasn't an Olympian. You wasn't a big amateur guy. Your first fight, how much did you make?
My first fight,
Yep.
way back in there, I fought a guy named, matter of fact, before I even tell you, I fought a guy
I bet you I could guess exactly who
named
it is.
Ricky Williams.
Ricky
I already
Williams.
know. I already know. They know. I already know who you fought.
And, I never fight opening. I
Mhm.
turned pro at a novice.
Yeah.
I had 16 amateur fights.
Wow.
16.
16 amateur fights. I was 13-3.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know I was going to turn pro until that same day of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
When I fight
Wow.
because his opponent didn't show up for the fight. And then
It just turned. The next thing you know.
I went up to watch my partner, Maurice Bacher, fight in Atlantic City.
Mhm.
And the opponent never showed up for him. And they called up for a guy, and anyway, that's how I turned pro. I was the guy that they need at 140 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I turned pro.
Wow.
I went on from then, came home. I could remember on that Wednesday, I went back to the gym, right back on that Friday.
Mm.
And another call came in. Following down the side, one was in the gym. My trainer, Pepe, said, someone just called in for a fight for you, for Vito Marcelo. He was 6-0. Lou Duva had him at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there and did my thing again and whooped him. I got
And
the rest is history.
And like back, I think back then Bernard, all them guys, it was like you might get $200 purse, $500 purse.
Mm-hmm.
Then from that point, went on to be a world champ, make $1 million purses, $2.5 million purses.
Exactly. You asked me my first pro fight. I
Yes,
made time. It was $450, 4-round fight.
Wow.
$450, and you
$100
still got to
around.
give $45 to your
$100
cut, man. $45 to your train.
It's different now.
It's the days, times have definitely changed, man.
And you went from there. So Young Fight, I wanted to end it on that question. You went from that
Yeah.
all the way up to the 6 figures and 7-figure fights.
Exactly, because I want to give up. I want the goal, and that's the goal of the thing around your waist.
Yes, sir.
And I always said I did it until my arm fall off.
Yes, sir. Indeed, man. This was a great episode. I want to give you guys a chance to have any closing statements, any shout outs. Go ahead, Chris.
I shout out my sponsors.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go
All right,
for
I
it.
want to shout out all these sponsors are in Hagerstown. Los Amigos, Vibes Lounge, Rocky's Pizza, Green Dumpster, Big Poppies, Big Poppies,
Yeah.
Tacos, Perry Bowler Safety, Plant Burger, Maryland Arsenal, Regenerate Float, and then Herbalife.
Indeed.
And my family and everybody. So, yeah.
For sure. How about you, Coach? Any closing
Well,
statements?
Well, I just want to say to everyone that who have watched me through the years when I was doing my thing, thank y'all. And I mean, I want to thank y'all so much. And may God bless each and every one of y'all. And always remember, keep God first.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll just say, as always, you already know what it is with me
Yes,
and
sir.
you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Consummate professional. I'm proud of you, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm always
Thank
a
you.
phone call away. Me and Bing
Thank
always a
you.
phone
Thank you.
call away. Y'all support Blue in Hagerstown because he's not just a fighter, but he also is a businessman. There's a lot that you can learn by just watching him. And also because he lives the right way. Like, okay, I'm a fighter, like a champion without the belt. He's already conducted himself like a consummate professional out there. So always tip your hat to guys that behave like a professional like that are fighters. Because it's real easy to go astray in this sport, especially in our area.
Mm-hmm.
To you, Mr. Simon, sir, my mother just texted and said, oh my God, Simon looks great. And my dad said, man, shout out to Simon. I want to say once again, sir, everybody tip your hat when you see this man in the street for what he gave, how he's conducted himself from before I was born throughout his whole career all the way up to now. And once again, I cannot stress this enough. It's so good to see how well you're doing, how all that you gave the game and gave us,
Mm-hmm.
that you still walk well, talk
Yeah.
well, and care. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And thank you for all you gave,
Sure.
Coach. Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Just
I want
like-
to look you in the eye and say that.
And
Thank
just
you.
like I said, you know why? Because I keep my Heavenly Father first.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Keep me straight.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. You guys like what you saw. But hold on, before I wrap it up, Side Nation Sports, he says there's a Simon Brown documentary coming out this fall. This
What?
fall. Stay tuned for that. We'll probably do a drop and post it when it's dropped for you guys.
Yes.
I got Chris Glenn, the Blueprint. He's fighting June 24th in Baltimore, Patapsco Arena, right?
Yes.
Patapsco Arena. You guys can contact me for tickets. If you guys want tickets to come to the fight, contact me. And let's come on and support Hagerstown. Let's support Chris. Let's support Simon, the legend, Simon Brown.
The real mantequilla.
Yes,
The
sir.
first butter.
Yes,
There you
sir. So if you guys like what you saw tonight on Slip and Kind, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. You guys continue to show love in the comments. Thank you guys for everybody that tapped into the live and show love. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Slip and Kind of podcast. Shout out to Kenichi Bed Studios. Shout out to Dan Cohen in the back, man.
Yes,
Great
indeed.
photographer,
And the cameraman.
vape
Smooth.
videographer.
And the cameraman.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Make sure you guys go show him some love too. And we'll be back with you guys this week.